I died choking on my own blood, the taste of rust and betrayal flooding my mouth as the brakes of that black SUV failed. Deliberately, I knew even then. My fiancé's face flashed in my mind, his smile as fake as the diamond he'd slipped on my finger, and my best friend's whisper in my ear earlier that day. "It's for the best, Eliana. Trust me." The world went black, but not before I saw the headline scrolling in my head. Rising journalist Eliana Hayes found dead in suspicious crash. Corruption scoop silenced? Waking up gasping in my old Brooklyn apartment, 5 years earlier, staring at the calendar on my wall. June 15th, 2018. I realized the impossible. I'd been given a do-over. And this time, I'd make them pay. The air smelled like fresh coffee from the corner bodega and the faint tang of exhaust from the street below. My hands, my 25-year-old hands, trembled as I touched my face in the mirror, the faint scar from a childhood bike accident still there, untouched by the wreck that should have ended me. It was real. I was back. Eliana Hayes, the wide-eyed reporter fresh out of Columbia Journalism School. Not the jaded 30-year-old who'd clawed her way to the top of the New York Sentinel only to be buried under a mountain of lies. My phone buzzed on the nightstand, pulling me from the vertigo. It was him, Marcus Hale. The name alone sent ice through my veins. In my first life, he'd been my anchor, the charming political aide with Ivy League polish and a smile that could disarm a room. We'd met at a fundraiser in D.C., sparks flying over cheap champagne, and shared dreams of changing the world. But he'd been playing me from day one, feeding me just enough truth to hook me, then twisting it into nooses for his own climb. By the time I uncovered his ties to the senator's slush fund, laundering money through fake charities, he'd already turned my best friend, Lena, against me. She'd planted the forged emails in my laptop, the ones that made it look like I'd sold out the story for a bribe. Marcus drove the SUV that night, his grief-stricken face on every news channel the next day. I let the phone ring out, watching the screen go dark. No voicemail. Not yet. In this timeline, we were still in the honeymoon phase, 3 months into dating. Him whispering about future kids and white picket fences in some Virginia suburb. God, I'd been so naive. But not anymore. This time, I'd play their game, but I'd rewrite the rules. Revenge wasn't just about exposing them. It was about dismantling everything they'd built, brick by scandalous brick. And I'd start small, with the secret I now knew they'd buried deepest, the affair that started it all. I showered, the hot water scalding away the phantom ache in my ribs from the crash, and dressed in my favorite power outfit, a crisp white blouse, slim black pants, and heels that clicked like gunshots on the subway platform. The Sentinel office loomed in Midtown, a glass monolith buzzing with ambition and caffeine-fueled egos. My desk was the same, cluttered with notebooks, a half-dead ficus, and a framed photo of my dad, Admiral Richard Hayes, in his dress blues from the Gulf War. He'd retired to Florida last year in the original timeline, but here he was still active duty, phoning me weekly with gruff advice. Don't let those sharks smell blood, kiddo. If only he knew how much blood there'd been. Dad was the one blind spot in my rage. He'd always pushed me toward respectable paths, law, maybe PR, instead of journalism's trenches. When the scandal hit, he believed the lies, cutting me off with a single call. "You've shamed the family name, Eliana. Fix it or stay gone." It broke me more than the crash. But in this life, I'd protect him. Or at least, keep him from becoming collateral. "Morning, Hayes." My editor, Carla Ruiz, waved from her glass-walled office, her voice cutting through the clatter of keyboards. Carla was a chain-smoking Latina firebrand who'd mentored me, only to fire me publicly when the evidence surfaced. Today, her eyes lit up as I dropped my bag. "Heard you pitch that piece on the senator's PAC. Bold move. You sure you want to poke that bear?" "Someone has to," I said, flashing a smile that didn't reach my eyes. The pitch was the same one that got me killed, exposing Senator Harlan's dirty money funneled through Marcus's firm. But this time I'd hedge. I'd gather proof quietly, leak it through anonymous channels, and watch Marcus squirm from afar. By noon, I was buried in FOIA requests and coffee runs, but my mind raced ahead. Lena's birthday party was tonight, our first big overlap in this timeline. In the original, that's where Marcus and I made it official, toasting with Rose while they exchanged glances behind my back. Tonight, I'd show up, charm them both, and plant the first seed of doubt. The bar was a trendy spot in the East Village, all exposed brick and craft cocktails, pulsing with the laughter of 20-somethings chasing dreams. Lena spotted me first, her red curls bouncing as she pulled me into a hug that smelled like vanilla and deceit. Eli, you made it. Marcus is grabbing drinks. Tequila sunrise, right? Make it a double, I murmured, scanning the room. There he was, weaving through the crowd, 2 glasses in hand, his dark hair tousled just so, that dimpled grin aimed straight at me. My stomach twisted, a cocktail of hate and something darker, regret for the girl I'd been, who fell for it. He handed me the drink, his fingers brushing mine. You look incredible. Rough day at the grindstone. The usual. I sipped, the burn steadying me. Carla's writing me about that pack story. Says it's career suicide. Marcus's laugh was easy, too easy. Politics is a viper pit, babe. Stick to the fluff pieces, wedding exposés, maybe. Safer that way. The words landed like a slap, echoing the ones he'd whispered post-crash in my fevered imagination. Safer. For him. I leaned in, close enough to smell his cologne, sandalwood and lies. Maybe I like the vipers. Keeps things exciting. Lena joined us then, looping her arm through Marcus's with a familiarity that screamed in my past life knowledge. To old friends and new beginnings, she toasted, her green eyes sparkling. I clinked glasses, my mind already plotting. By the end of the night, I'd accidentally spill a drink on Marcus's phone, glimpsing the encrypted app he used for his shady deals. Tomorrow, I'd dig into Lena's socials, trace the offshore account she opened 6 months ago. Small moves, building to the avalanche. But as we danced to some indie track, Marcus's hand on my waist, I felt the first crack in my armor. This body remembered the touch, the thrill. What if I faltered? What if revenge turned me into the monster they were? No, I shoved the thought down. They took my life once. This time, I'd take theirs, piece by calculated piece. The party blurred into after-hours haze, but I stayed sharp, nursing one drink while they downed more. Around 1 a.m., as the crowd thinned, Lena pulled me aside near the bathrooms. So, Marcus, he's a keeper, huh? You two are goals. I studied her, the flush on her cheeks from booze or guilt. In the original timeline, this was where she'd first tested the waters, hinting at sharing secrets. Yeah, I said, voice light. But every keeper has skeletons. You know that better than anyone. Her smile faltered, just a flicker. What do you mean? Nothing. Just. Life's full of surprises. I hugged her goodbye, whispering into her ear, watch your back, Lena. The city's full of snakes. Outside, the humid June air hit like a wall. Marcus hailed a cab, his arm around me possessive. Your place or mine? Mine, I decided. Let him think he was winning. In my apartment, as he kissed my neck, murmuring promises, I closed my eyes and saw the SUV's headlights. Not tonight. Not until I had him by the throat. He left at dawn, a quick peck and a text you later. I waited until the door clicked shut, then fired up my laptop. First search, Marcus Hale, financial records. The hits were sparse, clean on the surface, as expected. But I knew where to look deeper, cross-referencing with the senator's donor lists I'd memorized from my grave. By 8 a.m., I had it. A shell company linked to his firm, Hale Horizons, funneling $50,000 to an untraceable Cayman account. Coincidence? Bullshit. And the signatory? Lena Vasquez, her digital signature sloppy, as always. My phone rang, Dad. Eliana? You sound off. Everything okay? I swallowed the lump. Just a late night, Admiral. Chasing stories. He chuckled, that gravelly sound I missed. Don't chase too hard. Hayes' blood runs deep. Don't spill it for strangers. Strangers? If only he knew. Love you, Dad. As I hung up, resolve hardened. This wasn't just revenge, it was redemption. For me. For the family they tried to destroy. And it started now. The next week blurred into a frenzy of double lives. By day, I was the eager reporter, pitching lighter stories to Carla while feeding my pack investigation in secret. Late nights, I hacked basic trails. Nothing illegal yet, just public records and social engineering. Marcus took me to dinners at upscale spots, his hand on my knee under the table, talking big about his promotion to senior advisor. Each word was a thread I unraveled in my mind. Lena grew closer too, inviting me for brunches where she'd drop hints about stressful clients. Once, over mimosas, she confessed, Marcus is intense. Sometimes I worry he's in over his head with the senator. I feigned concern, probing gently. Over his head how? Just politics. You get it. Her eyes darted away. Bingo. She was cracking already. But the first real test came mid-July, at a rooftop gala for the senator's re-election. The skyline glittered like a promise of power, guests in tuxes and gowns mingling with champagne flutes. Marcus introduced me as the future Mrs. Hale, his arm tight around my waist. Senator Harlan himself shook my hand, his grip clammy, eyes appraising. Heard you're digging into my finances, Ms. Hayes. Careful, dirt sticks. My heart hammered, but I smiled. Just good journalism, Senator. Keeps everyone honest. Marcus laughed it off later, pulling me aside. What the hell was that pitch? Carla told me. Drop it, Eli. For us. For us. The words dripped poison. Or what? His face darkened, just a shadow. Don't make me choose. I chose for him that night. Slipping away to the ladies' room, I texted an anonymous tip to a rival paper. Senator Harlan Pack linked to Shell Company check Hale Horizons. No byline, no trace. By morning, the story broke, small, but enough to rattle cages. Marcus called furious. You crazy? This could tank everything. Everything. I echoed, voice steel. Like what, Marcus? Your climb. Silence, then a sigh. We need to talk. Tonight. My place. I agreed, already planning my out. But as I hung up, Dad's latest email pinged. Proud of you, kid. Saw your byline. Stay safe. Guilt twisted. How much deeper would I drag him? That night, Marcus's apartment was a fortress of minimalism, leather couches, abstract art masking the rot. He poured scotch, pacing. This isn't you, Eli. The old you wouldn't risk it all. The old me died a little when I started compromising. I lied smoothly. Truth was, the old me was dead, period. He stepped closer, cupping my face. I love you. Marry me. We'll build something real. The ring box appeared like a trap. In the first life, I'd said yes. Here, I hesitated, then nodded, tears, real ones, stinging. Yes. He kissed me, victory in his eyes. Fool. It was my hook. As he slept, I swiped his phone passcode. His birthday, pathetically predictable. The app opened. Messages to Lena. She's onto something. Handle it. My blood ran cold. They were accelerating. I slipped out before dawn, ring on my finger like a shackle. Time to up the ante. Controversial? Hell yes. I'd seduced the truth from one of Harlan's aides, a mousy guy named Theo who'd always eyed me at parties. Moral gray? Absolutely. But betrayal burned hotter than ethics. Theo met me for drinks that Thursday, his nerves showing in shaky hands. Over wine in a dim Soho lounge, I leaned in, laughing at his jokes, my engagement ring glinting like bait. Marcus is great, but politics. It's lonely sometimes. He bit, spilling after the second glass. Harlan's got dirt on everyone. That shell? It's for consulting fees to foreign donors. Marcus signs off weekly. I recorded it discreetly, heart pounding. Dangerous stuff, Theo. You ever think about going public? His eyes widened. And lose everything? No way. Your call. I touched his hand, then pulled back. Thanks for the honesty. The recording went to my secure Dropbox. One more piece. But karma bit back fast. Friday, Lena cornered me at work, uninvited, which was new. Eli, we need to talk. About Marcus. My office mate stepped out, leaving us alone. She shut the door, face pale. He's using you. The ring? It's a ploy. He told me. Lies or half-truth. I played dumb. What are you talking about? He's sleeping with me. Has been since D.C. Her voice cracked, tears welling. I didn't mean for it to happen. But you're my friend. The room spun. In the original, she'd confessed post-mortem, in a drunken apology at my fake funeral. Here, it was early, too early. Was this her move to destabilize? I grabbed her wrist, nails digging. Prove it. She pulled up texts, blurry screenshots, timestamps matching our dates. See? Last week, when you were working late. Rage boiled, but I reined it. Controversial decision number 2. I'd use this. Help me end him, Lena, or I expose you both. Her eyes widened. Expose? Eli, you're not like this. People change. I released her, watching her flee. That night, alone with the ring, I smashed it against the wall, diamonds scattering like tears. Dad called again. Heard about the engagement. Congrats, sweetheart. When do I meet him? Soon, I lied. He's perfect, But perfection was a lie, and lies had expiration dates. Mine was ticking louder. The leak I'd planted grew teeth overnight. By Monday, the Post ran a follow-up. Hail Horizons under scrutiny. Ties to Senator Harlan's offshore puzzle. Marcus's firm issued a denial, but the damage stuck. Clients pulling out, whispers in boardrooms. He didn't call me that weekend. Too busy damage control. Good. Let him stew. I threw myself into the story, cross-referencing Theo's tips with FEC filings. The web was vast. Kickbacks from Russian oligarchs masked as eco-donations, funneled through Lena's graphic design side hustle. Fake invoices for campaign visuals. She'd been the money mule, too greedy or too in love to see the noose. My noose, originally. Carla pulled me into her office Tuesday, cigarette dangling unlit. Hey, this pack thing, it's blowing up. You got sources? Anonymous, I said, meeting her gaze. But solid. She eyed me, shrewd. Don't get burned. I've seen girls like you light up and fizzle. Girls like me. Dead girls. I won't. Outside, rain lashed the windows, mirroring my mood. Lena texted, coffee? Please. I meant what I said. Trap or truce? I agreed, meeting at a dingy spot in Hell's Kitchen, away from prying eyes. She looked wrecked, mascara smudged, hair limp. Eliana, I'm sorry. It started as a flirtation. He said you were too ambitious, that you'd never settle. Settle? Like I was a wild horse to break. And you believed him? She nodded, miserable. He promised to leave you. Then the money. It was supposed to be one job. I leaned forward, voice low. One job that killed me, Lena. Or would have. Her brow furrowed. What? Never mind. Slip. I couldn't unravel yet. What do you want? Forgiveness? Or out. I have proof. Emails, bank transfers. Give it to your story, and I'll disappear. Tempting. But trust was a luxury I couldn't afford. Send it. Then vanish. If you don't, I will find you. She nodded, frantic, and forwarded the files from her phone. I scanned them gold. Timestamps, amounts, Marcus's sign-off. But one attachment caught my eye. A photo, grainy, of Dad's old naval commendation pinned to a corkboard in Harlan's office. Why? I pocketed the thought, leaving her in the rain. Back home, I uploaded the files to my encrypted drive, then called Theo. Drinks again? I need more. He hesitated. Last time was a mistake. Marcus knows. Knows what? My pulse spiked. That we talked. He's watching. Paranoia or truth. I pushed. One more meet. Name your price. Nothing. Just. Be careful. We set for Thursday. Meanwhile, Marcus resurfaced with flowers and apologies, showing up at my door Wednesday night. Babe, the story's bullshit. Some hack job. Let's focus on us. The wedding. Wedding. The word soured. Who's US Marcus? You and me. Or you and Lena? His face blanked, then recovered. What? That's insane. I held up my phone, the screenshot she'd sent glaring. Insane like this. He snatched it, deleting the image with a thumb swipe. Photoshopped. She's jealous. Always has been. Lies layered on lies. I wanted to scream, to claw his eyes, but I played cool. Prove it. Cut her out. All contact. Done. He kissed my forehead, too tender. I love you, Eli. You're my future. As he left, I tailed him, subway to cab, straight to Lena's walk-up in Queens. Through the window, shadows moved. Argument, then embrace. My fists clenched. Fine. They're rope to hang from. Thursday with Theo was riskier. We met in a crowded pub near Union Square, noise cover. He slid a USB across the table. Everything, ledgers, emails. Harlan's got a mole in the FBI too. But this implicates your dad. My blood froze. What? Admiral Hayes. Old service records show he consulted for Harlan post-retirement. Favors for funding naval tech. Nothing illegal, but leverage. Dad. No. The photo clicked, blackmail fodder. Harlan had used my family to control me indirectly? Or Marcus had, knowing Dad's pride. I pocketed the drive, nausea rising. Why tell me? Because you're good, Eliana. And because Marcus threatened my sister. Get him before he gets you. I nodded, slipping out into the dusk. Home, I plugged in the USB. Pages of PDFs. Dad's signature on a consulting agreement, dated 2 years back. Innocent on surface, advising on cybersecurity for the senator's PAC. But buried, a clause for discretionary support, code for off-books cash. Tears blurred the screen. Dad hadn't betrayed me. He'd been played, like me. Protecting the family legacy, blind to the strings. In the first life, he'd disowned me to save face for Harlan's donors, Navy alumni pulling strings. Now, I had to save him from himself. Friday brought the storm. Carla burst into the bullpen. Hayes. Front page. Your leak's verified. Harlan's calling it a witch hunt, but the feds are sniffing. Adrenaline surged. My byline. Hell yes. But watch your back. The story dropped at noon. Senator Harlan's empire of shadows. Kickbacks, lies, and a reporter's fight. Quotes from sources close. The USB's choicest bits anonymized. By evening, chaos. Protests outside Harlan's office. Marcus's firm under subpoena. He called at 7 p.m., voice venom. You bitch. This ends now. Come over, I said calmly. Let's end it. He arrived raging, slamming the door. You think you're smart? I built this. You're just the patsy. Patsy. I laughed, bitter. Like the crash you planned? Brakes cut, story buried. He froze, then sneered. Prove it. I played the recording, Theo's voice, Lena's emails. His face drained. Where'd you? Doesn't matter. I stepped closer, heart thundering. It's over, Marcus. Resign. Confess. Or the full dump goes public, including Dad's ties. Your dad. He laughed ugly. The Admiral's dirtier than you know. Harlan's got tapes. From the war. Secrets that'd court-martial him. Bluff or truth? My mind reeled. Dad's Gulf stories always glossed over complications. Covert ops, maybe. Liar. Call him. Ask about the ghost ship incident. 1991. Bodies in the water. Orders from D.C. Harlan was the liaison. Doubt cracked me. I dialed Dad, speaker on. Eli? What's wrong? Tell me about the ghost ship, Dad. Harlan's name. Did he cover for you? Silence, eternal. Then, hoarse. Jesus, kid. Where'd you hear that? It's true. A sigh. It was war. Bad calls. Harlan. Helped bury it. For the service. Marcus smirked. See? Family tradition. Sacrificing the weak. I hung up, world tilting. Dad had known Harlan's rot, enabled it. For honor? Or cowardice? You lose, Eliana. Marcus advanced. The ring was mercy. Now, you're done. He lunged, not for the phone, but me. Hand around my throat, slamming me against the wall. I loved you once. But ambition. Spots danced. First life flashed. The SUV, helplessness. No. I need him. Hard, breaking free. Grabbed the lamp, smashing it across his temple. He crumpled, groaning. Panting, I zip-tied his wrists with office cords. Prepped for this. Dialed 911. Intruder. Send cops. As sirens wailed distant, Lena burst in. Key? She'd copied it. Eli. I saw him come. Oh God. Too late, I spat. You're next. Cops hauled Marcus away. Lena spilling everything in hysterics. The affair, the plots, the crash plan. Harlan's name dropped like confetti. By dawn, headlines screamed. Political sex scandal rocks D.C. Aide, lover nabbed in assault. My byline led. But victory tasted ash. Dad's call came at 6 a.m. Eliana, we need to talk. About everything. I agreed, flying to D.C. that afternoon. His admiral's quarters overlooked the Potomac, crisp with flags and regret. He looked older, frielier, uniform hanging loose. The ghost ship, he started, pouring bourbon. Friendly fire. Civilians caught in crosshairs. Harlan was intel, ordered silence. I signed off. Thought it protected the men. And me? I whispered. When the scandal hit, you chose him over me. He winced. I was scared. The Navy. It's everything. But you, God, kid. I failed you. Tears fell, mine and his. Harlan used you to leash me. Through Marcus. I know now. He gripped my hand. Testify. Against him. I'll back you. The decision loomed, controversial as hell. Drag Dad's name through mud for full justice? Or partial win? Protect the hero? I chose truth. Together. The hearings were a circus, summer into fall, D.C. sweltering under scrutiny. Harlan lawyered up, smearing me as jilted fiancé with an axe to grind. Marcus flipped first, plea deal for immunity, painting Lena as the mastermind. She got 5 years, tears in court. I never meant. Lena's sorry echoed hollow. Dad's testimony broke the dam. I covered for Harlan once. Won't again. The ghost ship files unsealed. War crimes whispers, but statute barred. Still, it humanized him, a soldier's burden. Harlan resigned in October, indicted on fraud. His empire crumbled, donors fleeing like rats. But the twist came November, post-verdict. A letter from Marcus, prison stamped. You won, Eli. But check the safe deposit box. The real secret. Heart pounding, I retrieved it. Harlan's bank. Inside, a flash drive. Not more dirt, but proof of innocence. Dad's sign-off. Forged. Harlan's plant, to control him later. And a note from Dad, dated weeks ago. If you read this, forgive an old man. I knew about Marcus early. Tested you. You passed. Tested? Rage anew. Dad had suspected, fed me subtle warnings, watched me fight. To toughen me? Or redeem himself? I confronted him Christmas Eve, Florida condo twinkling with lights. You let me walk into the fire. He nodded, eyes wet. Thought it'd break you. It forged you. Forged or scarred? Both. He hugged me, first in years. Proud, Eliana. Always. New Year dawned crisp, 2019, with me at the Sentinel's helm, promoted to investigative lead, Carla's protege, turned equal. The bylines piled. Exposés on Packrod, follow-ups on Harlan's cronies. But fame's glare brought shadows. Threats scrawled on my door, snitches get stitches. Marcus is doing, from behind bars. Dad retired officially, moving to Brooklyn, closer, he said. We rebuilt slow, Sunday dinners, his war stories unvarnished, my scars aired. The ghost ship haunts me, he admitted once, over steak. But you're the real hero. Hero? I snorted. I'm the villain in their story. Villains don't save families. Family. The word warmed, thawing the ice I'd built. But revenge's aftertaste lingered, nights replaying the chokehold. Lena's plea, Marcus's eyes glazing as cops dragged him. Spring brought the trial's echoes fading, but a new hook, an anonymous source, Ghost, emailing tips on bigger fish, senators tied to foreign election meddling. Paranoia? Or ally? I met Ghost in a shadowed Central Park bench, April rain misting. Hood up, voice muffled. Harlan was a pawn. The real power's in the shadows, think tanks, billionaires pulling strings. Proof followed, docs on a Patriot fund, laundering influence. My gut screamed trap, but the story sang. I chased, publishing in May. The Invisible Empire, how elites buy democracy. Fallout, congressional probes, my face on CNN. Dad watched from the wings, advising. Armor up, kid. They played dirty. He was right. June, a car tailed me home, black sedan, like the SUV. Heart slamming, I detoured to a precinct, filing a report. Cops shrugged. Paranoid, Ms. Hayes? Not paranoid. Prepared. I'd installed cameras, carried mace. But the notes escalated. Second chances end bad. Second chances. Someone new. Ghost. Dad insisted on staying over that week, his presence a shield. Like old times, boot camp stories to scare the boogeyman. We laughed, but tension coiled. One night, over whiskey, he confessed more. Harlan wasn't the start. Your mom. She left because of my secrets. The cover-up saved us. Mom. Dead 10 years, cancer, but I'd blamed Dad's absences. Why now? Because you faced yours. Tom, I did. Tears again, cleansing this time. We were mending, jagged edges fitting. But July shattered it. Ghost's next drop, a video file. Me, in the apartment, Marcus's assault. Unseen angle, from a hidden cam. Attached note, planted by me. For insurance. Join or fall. Blackmail. Ghost was inside, Lena's contact? Or worse, Harlan's ghost. I called Dad. Get here. Now. He arrived frantic, pistol from his Navy days holstered. What the hell? We watched the vid, his face thunder. Son of a bitch. It's leverage, against your credibility. Or setup. I paced. If I run the Patriot story, they release this, me staging the attack for sympathy. Twist of the knife. Controversial choice. Bury the biggest scoop, or risk all. Dad gripped my shoulders. Publish. I'll testify. Vouch the assault was real. You? Court-martial risk. For you? Worth it. Decision made. The story dropped August 1st. Patriot Fund exposed. Billionaire cabal meddles in elections. With affidavits, leaks, my name bold. The video leaked hours later. Reporter fakes assault in political hit job. Pundits tore in. Hayes hysteria. Sponsors pulled from the Sentinel. Carla distanced. Take leave, Eli. Sort this. Alone, vilified, I hold up with Dad. Protests outside. Some cheering truth teller. Others, fake news witch. Then, the call. Unknown number. Admiral Hayes? Or should I say, Captain Cover-Up? Dad snatched the phone. Who is this? Ghost? Or Harlan's Avenger? Drop the story, or the full ghost ship dossier hits WikiLeaks. Names, dates, your signature. Dad's face ashen. It's forged. You know that. Public won't care. Nor about Eliana's staged drama. I grabbed the phone. What do you want? Your head. On a platter. Retract, or we bury you both. Click. We fortified. Lawyers, PR spins. Dad went public. Presser at the Sentinel, uniform on. My daughter's a patriot. The assault? Real as my service. And the ghost ship? A lie Harlan peddled. Here's proof. He waved declassified docs, my forgery revelation validated. The tide turned slow. Fact-checkers debunked the video, grainy edits, timestamps off. Ghost's IP traced to a burner, but feds pounced. Russian ties, election hackers. September climax. Raid on the Patriot Fund's HQ, arrests rippling. Ghost unmasked. Ex-CIA operative, Harlan's fixer, flipped by Moscow gold. In custody, he cracked. Marcus hired me. From jail. Finish her. Marcus. The snake's last bite. I visited him October, plexiglass between. Gaunt, broken. Why, Eli? You started it. I slid a photo across, Dad and me, smiling at a Navy gala. With the crash. He laughed hollow. Lena told me. Your dreams. Thought you were crazy. Dreams. My past life, bleeding through. Rot in hell, Marcus. Outside, autumn leaves swirled. Dad waited, arm around me. It's over. Was it? The controversies lingered, my methods debated on pods. Was Hayes too ruthless? Seducing sources? Ruthless? Survived. Twist finale came Thanksgiving. Dad proposed a toast. To second chances. I clinked, then pulled an envelope. One more secret. Inside, Mom's letter unsealed. Richard, if you read this, tell Eliana I loved her fire. Don't dim it. And a codicil. She'd known about the cover-up, left to protect us from Harlan's reach. She suspected, Dad whispered. Wanted you safe. Layers peeled, all of us flawed, betrayers betrayed. But redeemed? I chose happy, or as close. Dad walked me into a new chapter, not aisle-bound, but career-soaring. Sentinel Pulitzer nod, book deal brewing. Lena wrote from prison. Forgive? I burned it. Revenge complete, but the real win? Living. Unchained. In the end, blood didn't just betray, it bound. And I, Eliana Hayes, twice born, walked free.